Get into it.
Hey, yo, the world's a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown. I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast, and it is a Wednesday, the 9th of April, 2025. And we're about to start a whole new season in batch of shows. This is now the sports edition of the TweetCap. So, as I mentioned on the last show, we're adding a all sports trending topics show. And as we usually do, sports cover the seasons as we usually do variously, depending on the season, and beginning our postseason coverages when that happens too. We're also just going to set another day of the week where we just talk all trending topics in sports. Of course, one of my favorite people to talk about sports, joining us on this journey throughout this great time of our lives, it is Alec Reeves. I am so happy you're here, Alec. What's up?
Thank you, Matt. Good to be back, man. Always good to be on the show and excited to talk some more baseball with you
Mm-hmm.
and whatever else we get into, brother. Thanks for having me.
We are so lucky to have you, my dude. And I just want to remind you all before anything as it goes, don't you forget to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X at Pod, TikTok at Productive Conversations, and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, I want to thank our presenting sponsor, the great Magic Mind. Magic Mind, thank you for always having our back. Thank you for creating these various shots, whether the green tea shots for your mental focus and energy, whether it's these purple shots for sleep aid, whether it's the gummies, whether it's whatever you so desire. Magic Mind is a new company that helps, a new health company that helps promote or I should say that helps encourage mental health awareness with their signature nootropics and vitamins and recipes to help enhance your life. We're glad to be part of their team. And they created a special discount code for us. Go to magicmind.com/PCLT20. That's magicmind.com/PCLT20 for 48% off your first subscription or 20% off your first one-time purchase. And you can check out the episode description below on all podcasting platforms and YouTube for this exclusive deal. One more time, magicmind.com/PCLT20 for 48% off your first subscription, 20% off your first one time purchase. So, Mr. Reeves, I do want to start with this right before we talk some baseball. March Madness came to an end on Monday night.
Yep. Great
We
game.
And also Sunday first, the Lady Huskies from my native Connecticut. They take
Yeah.
their 12th national championship led by Paige Breckers. Incredible stuff making us proud. So shouts to the Lady Huskies on that one. And then we had the national championship for the men on Monday night. The
hmm
University of Florida took down the University of Houston. Florida goes over Houston 65-63, and they win the national championship. They get their Natty, their third ever national championship, led by Walter Clayton Jr.'s defensive prowess and making some big moments late in the game. And I won my March Madness pool because of it. So thank you to Florida for that. Forever special place in my heart to the Florida Gators. But they are national
Nice.
champions, bro. And just in general, the Final Four lived up to the hype. Even in the chalky, all four one seeds killed it. An incredible back and forth game between Auburn and Florida. Then Duke
Yep.
and then Duke
Duke
and
and
Houston
Houston. Yeah, that
almost
was a
playing a
great game.
straight up a classic.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro. Even at the first, it felt like the first three rounds are kind of whack. It ended it ended right. And it was absolutely fun and incredible. Just I wanted hear a few words from you, and what did you think about Florida taking home the national championship? I was complaining. I don't know if you saw my text before. I was upset. I thought it was
Yeah.
gonna be over, but
Oh, I know. I saw your text. I mean, I think I had fallen asleep, but I know you wanted Florida.
yeah,
I don't know why I was so tired. I fell asleep during the second half of that championship game on Monday night. I kind of hate how they put these college national championship games on Monday nights
yeah.
for
What?
football and basketball. It's like,
So dumb.
I mean, at least for my schedule, because I'm usually off Mondays and Tuesdays. It's like Monday. It's like my Saturday or whatever, but I had just yeah, I was just tired. So anyways, I didn't end up watching the end of that finish, the national championship game, but I did see UConn, Paige Beckers just dominated South Carolina. Congrats to the UConn ladies. That was a tremendous run they made.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they were a favorite going in, but yeah, UConn kicked ass. They won by like 30. And the men's Final Four was incredible. I mean, yeah, it was a chalky year, but I think at the end of the day, when you get to the end of the tournament, that's kind of what you want as a fan is the best of the best, right? You
Mm-hmm.
want the best teams to square off and go head to head, and that's exactly what we got, man. Houston and Duke was an instant classic and a game that we'll remember for a long time. But I really just feel bad for Houston and Kelvin Sampson, I believe, is the name of the coach there.
Yep.
He's been there forever. Yeah, I'm sure you saw videos of him years ago trying to recruit people to go to the Houston home
Yep.
games. To see how far he's brought that program and they're still searching for their first national championship. I'm sure that those kids are going home pretty bummed, bro, because that last shot was crazy. What are your thoughts on that last possession there by Houston, man? Like what
Oh
happened?
man.
What happened there?
Dude, I just the worst time to have a brain fart. I would have to guess.
Yeah, but what was the design play? I mean, it looked like obviously he looked like he was gonna shoot, then he didn't, and then he caught himself about to double dribble, so
Yeah,
he
and he's
couldn't
boxing out
shoot.
his own. He has to box out in the last moment. I don't know. Was it a
Mm.
put back out on the? It was a put back out on the key, and I guess he was just trying to go for the three, and that would have won the game. Or if actually I remember, they were dribbling
They
down the
were
court, so there
what?
wasn't an
Yeah, because they
inbound.
were down two, correct? A three would
Yeah,
have won it, but a
right.
two.
And
So
they had
why
a good
not,
18 seconds. They took their time. Well, they took their sweet time
dude?
for the wrong time. But you were saying,
I just kind of I don't know. I think statistically, what makes more sense to drive to the rim, try to get two, maybe get a foul, go to the line, or try to get two, or I don't understand if you're down two with the Natty on the line as a
mm-hmm,
team like Houston. I don't know enough about basketball to be like, oh, it's easier to get a quick two underneath or something, but I just feel like it'd been easier to drive to the rim. That's just me though, but
right.
uh, but
They were
yeah,
playing lockdown
regardless, dude.
defense, dude. So at the towards the end, but yeah, it just
Dude, you
sucks.
you got to give so much freaking credit though to Houston for beating Duke, the best team in the
Yeah.
country. Everybody was like, Duke's winning it all, Duke's winning it all. Houston down fucking like 15. They don't give up. They scratch and claw their way back. And they force turnovers late. They hit big
Yep.
three. It's like this team is scrappy as fuck. Like I kind of wanted them to win because they're just a scrappy ass team. Yeah, you were saying, yeah, these motherfuckers are probably all 30, bro. They probably all got a mortgage, a house, and kids. You know what I'm saying? These dudes, they look old as could be, but yeah, man, that was a great Final Four. I don't care what anybody says. That was good basketball.
Man, one of the best I've ever seen that I can so far. I don't want to say Reese's bias, but that one really sticks out. And really was real memorable.
Yeah, yeah, big time.
Maybe the
Lot of future
Nova Knicks
NBA
one was
players.
good. Oh yeah. And again, I feel bad for Sharp. And he was one of the reasons why they beat Duke, and he was the one who made that boneheaded play towards the end. But it's a
Yeah,
game, though. You have to take the shot when it matters the most, and give him credit
yeah,
to God the where position where he's at. It is a team game at the end of the day, but I don't know. This
yeah.
guy just like paused.
Yeah, it was just a kind of a shitty ending. I was a fan too of like I didn't necessarily care who won. I just kind of wanted to see a good finish. And, it would have been nice to at least see that kid get a shot up because, he's going to
Yeah,
be thinking
right.
about that for fucking ever. I mean, it sucks, but hats off to Florida, bro. You got to admit that Florida team, they had so many times they looked dead in the tournament. They were down 10, 15, whatever points. They never ever gave up. They won
No,
so many games that they were out of, against Auburn, against I think
UConn
it
was the
was
one that they pushed him.
yeah, I think did Michigan State push them or I don't remember,
Yeah,
but
they did too. I remember watching that.
yeah, dude, there
But
were so many games where like they were just down and they just fucking battle back and
I
they with it.
I think they had not one player who was a top 150 recruit. All
Damn.
people from the portal and scrappy people like that. I think I looked at Walter Clayton used to play for Iona, New Rochelle when Rick Pitino was
Yeah, I
recruiting
heard
there.
that.
He called him
Yep.
fat, but he said he could pass, and look at him now.
Dude,
The,
what's crazy too is like the whole tournament, all, you know, here's the thing about college hoops. There's literally just a handful of dudes that will actually make headlines that
yeah,
lead in scoring. Everyone's talking about them. Walter Clayton and Cooper Flag are obviously two of those dudes. There's a dude on Auburn, Broom. That guy was a
yeah,
fucking monster, bro. So you get a handful of these guys that'll just carry a team. But what's crazy is Clayton didn't do anything in the championship game. He shot like 2 for 15 with like 7 points.
right. Didn't show up until the very end, and at least in that first half, he was at least
Mm.
getting his assists and facilitating. But he didn't really score up until the end. But
That's
I guess that's what
crazy
it mattered the
though.
most, right?
That just shows you that Houston or that Florida's got, they got a lot of depth because,
Yeah,
if Cryer on Houston didn't go off for 20 points a night, that team, would have lost a lot of games, I think. I
for
think,
sure. Very
you know,
defense first oriented team.
bro, same with that kid on Maryland, that kid, forget the kid who hit the game-winning shot, that big dude,
I know who you're
forget.
talking about. I'm blanking him too, but he hit the shot against Michigan in the conference
Yeah,
championship.
he's
But
supposed to be a big draft pick. Every team's got one dude that's just gonna get a lot of points every night.
yeah, well, we're going to definitely watch where these guys go. Last but not least, do want to talk about Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag played well in that Final Four game,
Yeah.
and
Oh, he
they
played
had
all
that.
year. Played all year.
Yeah, but the getting that foul, the over the back foul towards that inbound, that definitely was a boneheaded move, and he missed the shot towards the end.
Mhm.
But
Right.
regardless, though, I don't think it'll hurt his legacy. I think
It's
he's
only the beginning of his legacy,
for
really. I
sure.
mean, that's the first year of his
Yeah, I
his
don't think
his
people are just
national.
gonna come at him like maybe some other players would have, but the main
Hmm.
native definitely stepped up at the end, but just a little short. I expect him to people say that he's expected to enter the draft, not official yet, but we'll wait in the next
Yeah.
few days for that. And that's that. Florida Gators, your national champions. Any other last thoughts on college basketball before we switch to baseball?
Just that it's really hard for a freshman to lead a team to a championship. And
Yeah.
that kid should be in high school realistically, and he's trying to lead Duke to a national championship against a
The
bunch of
Duke.
fifth-year seniors. Yeah, I mean it's just hard to do. So, it was a good shot he took at the end, Cooper Flag, but yeah, he's gonna be a beast in the NBA, man. It doesn't matter. I would like to see him come back to Duke for one more year, but obviously it's
Yeah,
up to
might as
him.
well.
But yeah, great tournament, and hats off to Florida.
Amen, my brother. Now, why don't we switch to some baseball, Alec? We're about a week and a half into the season. We definitely had some interesting plays already. We've had some teams off to extremely hot starts. We have some
Yep.
teams who look dead in the water already here in very early April. But so far, so good. You know, before we talk about our Yankees, I want to talk about just the league as a whole. What's been really exciting to you? What's been sticking out? How you feel about the beginning of baseball as a whole so far?
Yeah, that's a good question, Matt. I think it's been a good season so far. I mean, it's still really early. It's been great. It's just nice to have it back on the TV
Yeah,
every night. I got MLB TV, so I'm in tune with most of the games on TV. And
real one.
um, I just love baseball. I could watch it all day, every day. But yeah, it's been a great season so far. I mean, the weirdest thing for me is the new stadiums that are in play, and in Sacramento and then down in Tampa for the Rays. So we got two new stadiums.
Yeah,
A lot of the other thing is the City Connect uniforms is another thing I've noticed that is, a lot of teams are wearing those a lot. So I haven't seen, I don't feel like saw that as much last season, the City Connect uniforms, but yeah, the season's off to a great start. The Dodgers obviously started 8-0. Padres started, I think, 7-0. But yeah, I think the biggest headline, craziest thing was Devers going like 0 for 19 with 15 strikeouts.
Bro, you think he did that on
Um,
purpose because they told him he has to give up third base for Alex Bregman?
I mean, no, I think it was because he didn't really play in spring training much, and he's coming in cold. But he finally got off the schneid. The Red Sox are, they're pretty hot again, so I wouldn't be too worried if I was a Red Sox fan that they're going to be more than okay. But um,
Hmm.
honestly, I think it's gone somewhat how expected, with the exception of a few teams. I know Minnesota looks pretty rough right now. Houston. Um, there's some other teams. Seattle's obviously always struggled to score. They're still doing that.
Typical
Um,
Seattle.
but yeah, bro, the season's just getting going, and um, yeah, the Yankees got a lot of injuries, but we've been playing pretty good baseball.
Hmm.
Can't be too mad as a Yankees fan. I mean, yeah, we lost.
I
We've
thought
now
we should be
lost two in a row.
162 and oh, but in
We
another
should
word.
be, but unfortunately, we decided to just not hit certain games, especially in cold weather.
Yes, but the regardless of the baseball, but the Yankees though, 3 game losing streak in weird conditions where we're playing these afternoon games that were supposed to be night games due to the weather out in
Mhm.
Detroit, bro. Imagine playing baseball in early in early April in Detroit where there is even snow flurries in one of the games.
Oh yeah, it was brutal weather, but at the
Nobody
end
can
of the
come at
day,
us for torpedo bats.
both teams got a hit in that. Don't give me this, oh, it's too cold to hit. The Tigers had no problem hitting 4 bombs today,
Cookie
and
Carrasco, bro, with 3 home runs in what 30 seconds. Wow.
yeah, I could have told you that was coming. The wind was blowing 15 miles an hour out. Yeah, it's cold as shit, but if you square up a ball at a major league pitcher, it's gonna fucking fly. So, yeah, it's just an unfortunate matchup today with Skubal against Carrasco. The Yankees, man, their pitching just, I knew it would be kind of a big issue. Yeah, we can score shitloads of runs. We scored like 38 runs in 4 games. And then, last 3, 4 games, we scored like four. So,
That's baseball
um,
season.
yeah, I think, dude, if we can get Clark Schmidt back, if we can get Luis Heel back eventually, if Rodon and some of these other guys like Freed can pitch well, Rodon's really got to pick his game up. But yeah, I'm not worried about the Yankees, man. That's the last thing. I know we're gonna be fine. We got one of the best lineups in baseball. If we're all swinging the bat, the Yankees got a great lineup. So it's just the
Bro,
pitch that sucks.
how about my man Trent Grisham, bro? He's the best outfielder in New York so far.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
people getting yeah, right. People, dude, that's the thing about baseball. The Red Sox, for example, they start like 1-4, and everyone's freaking out. Oh, this team's dog shit. Send Devers to AAA. Grisham has 2 good games. Everyone's like, oh, this guy's a fucking beast. Soto who?
Mhm.
It's just funny. We're talking about 2, 3 game sample size, but yeah, man, Trent Grisham, he's been playing good. I'll give him that, but he's a career 215 hitter, Matt. He's not a fucking all-star. He's not Tony Gwynn up there, but
Hey, be
he's
hyped though. At least it shows us that we have some depth too.
I'm
And if more people have chicken
oh,
wing poisoning, we
I'm
feel at
happy
least a little
that we've
better.
Cody Bellinger, you mean, with the food poisoning?
Dude, what a bizarre story. I think he said from Buffalo Wild
That's
Wings too, the disrespect.
I mean, I don't doubt it. Eating at Buffalo Wild Wings, God knows what the hell they're doing with their wings back there.
Jeez, what's
But
worse?
dude, yeah, you got to be pretty impressed with the Yankees lineup so far. The power coming out of Goldie and Belly. Obviously, Judge has been a fucking monster to
Yes,
start the
sir.
season. There's so many things we could talk about Yankees wise, but um, I think the Yankees, like I said, the pitching worries me a bit. Um, but it'll be nice to get Clark Schmidt back and some of these guys that have started the season on the IL. It's going to be tough though without Garrett Cole, our ace man. He's our horse. It's tough. You look at some of these other teams in the AL East, and they don't look too bad, bro. Toronto, Baltimore, and Boston. They're gonna be hanging around all season, man. So get used to it. Get comfy.
That's why we got to be ready. Let me ask you, Alec. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., it was announced
Mm.
earlier this week that he got an extension from the Blue Jays, 12 years, $500 million.
Woo!
Bro's getting that bag.
My
Destroys
man
anybody
is
who thought
set.
they could pick him up, including you, stupid Mets. We're so confident you're going to get Vlad Guerrero Jr.
And the Yankees thought they might have a shot at his ass too.
It was better that the Mets specifically lost out. We're fine without him, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean, though. I'm gonna be a big Mets hater all year long, like never before, bro.
Oh yeah, me too, bro. I've always
But
been a Mets hater, but I love to see him fail even now that Soto's on the team. And Clay Holmes just imploded today against the Marlins. Luckily, the Marlins are dog shit. The Mets scored
yeah,
a score on them. But, I see Clay Holmes out there. He's freezing his ass off. He can't get the ball over the plate. I'm like, that's what you guys get for getting our scraps.
that's what you get. Yankees, sloppy seconds. But regardless of the contract, and interested in it? You think he's gonna live up to it? You think it was an overpay? You thought it was not enough? What do you think about the contract?
Mm, it seems a little bit like an overpay only because he's kind of like just a DH. He's just gonna end up being a DH, just like, you know, David Ortiz kind of guy. Um, but I think he
Hmm.
definitely deserves a shitload of money. He's a fucking really good hitter.
Yeah.
And he's young. He's really young. He's got a ton of power. He can hit for average. Like he's definitely a top 5, 10 hitter in the league when he's playing well, bro. So there's no doubt he was going to get a big contract.
Right.
But yeah, I guess the only thing is like, yeah, he's not very valuable defensively, base running, um, metrics like that aren't in his favor like they would be for somebody like I don't know, somebody that can play first base pretty well. But yeah, is he primarily playing first every day or is he DHing a lot? I don't really know.
Yeah, they didn't really make that clear. Let me just look it up really quick just for reference on what he did
I'm pretty sure
Tuesday
he's
night.
he's starting at first almost every night, but I'm thinking long term. I mean, he's
Oh,
not
in the
gonna
long
be.
term.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
I
been
mean
playing.
he's
He
like,
played first today, got an 0 for 4, but it happens.
yeah, but
But
no,
yeah,
man, I'm happy for him.
he'll probably be a DH, I would think, like you said. The big
Yeah,
money
I
guy.
thought it was an interesting move by the Blue Jays. I'm happy for him though. I hope now he can, play better. I know he's kind of struggled to start the season, and I'm sure it's because he's had that on the back of his mind, bro. He's negotiating a life-changing contract that he's debating on signing that will change his life forever and give him generational wealth. Obviously, he's gonna be thinking about that shit. So,
He's getting away. He's got his dad. Bro got money like his dad did. I'm
oh
trying to
yeah, bro.
think. I can't
His dad was a
recall.
legend.
Yeah, his dad's a legend. Like there have been players who was like a dad was good, and maybe the
Mm,
son was better, or the vice versa. Like no offense to Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. Ken Griffey Jr. is all time great. Ken Griffey's
yeah,
good, but he didn't make the Hall of Fame. But the way Vladimir Vlad Jr. Bro, imagine if he's basically. I'm gonna ask, do you think in this way too early to say, but do you think he could? Or does he have the talent to be a Hall of Famer? I don't think there's been in any sport, in any of the four major league sports, there has never been a father and son both being Hall of Famers. Never
really.
happened. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, not off the top of my head. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. No, I think he does, bro. I honestly do think he
isn't that
has the
nuts?
potential. Yeah,
Wow.
no, that's an
How about those
interesting
genes?
stat. I mean, dude, I think he definitely does. Obviously, he's super young. He's only been in the league, what, 4 or 5 years at
Yeah.
most. Um, But yeah, bro, he's a fantastic hitter. I think he's certainly got the tools to get into the Hall of Fame if he just keeps clubbing 40 home runs a year and drives in 115 runs, and he's hitting for average. That's the thing. It's not like he's hitting 250. He's at, he was hitting 310, 320 one year. Almost a triple crown winner. So yeah, bro, that would be a huge accomplishment if he can make Hall of Fame like his dad, but it's still way too early to really even get into that discussion, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I'm looking
He's
up
20,
really.
he's 26. This will
Yeah,
be
yeah.
his
I'm looking right here.
this will be his seventh season, brother.
Yeah. So there there are the whole father and son for the NHL. Both of them, Bobby and Brett Hull, made the Hall of Fame, and that's it. Larry and Lee McPhail also are father son duo, but one was a player and one was a Hall of Fame executive. So that's really it.
Okay.
Interesting
And
stuff.
that's in the NHL.
That's one in the NHL, one in MLB. The NHL is the actual players, but the baseball, there's a father and son duo, but as a player and an executive. So
Okay.
the more you know, right? Anything else that's really been sticking out to you and in your mind, Alec, about baseball? Anything you
Yeah.
coming in? Tell me, let me know.
Yeah, I would say I think it'd be a disservice to not talk about the Red Sox.
Mm.
Um, they got Garrett Crochet and Alex Bregman, the two big names they signed, but you got to give some credit to their lineup right now, bro, with some of these younger guys that got like Weiler Abreu and Christian Campbell.
Yep.
They got a good team, bro. They got a solid team. I think the Red Sox are much improved from last season. Obviously, we hate them. We hope they suck every game, but they got a decent lineup. They put up like 18 runs against the Cardinals the other night on Sunday Night Baseball. So yeah, bro, they got a good team. The Cubs are looking really good. They with Kyle Tucker, they look like they could definitely win the NL Central. I like what I'm seeing from the Cubs so far, and I don't
Hmm.
like what I'm really seeing from all of those other NL Central teams, bro. I think the
Typical,
Cubs should run away with that division. Honestly, they should.
especially with Tucker now, Dansby Swanson, getting a bunch
Hmm.
of those guys ready to rake.
Dude, Pete Crow Armstrong's pretty good. Um, they got Suzuki. They've got a pretty good rotation. I know they've got that Japanese. What the hell's his name? Not Sasaki. He's on the Dodgers.
Yeah, Emogen something. You're talking about the
Yeah,
Cubs pitcher.
Hey manga. That's who it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
nasty. Good. So, I think early look at that division. I think the Cubs are the clear best team in that division. I know it's super early, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing at all. Natty, St. Louis, or Milwaukee. Um,
Especially that we know damn well that Milwaukee bullpen can't hold it down, bro.
yeah, they got one of the worst arrays in baseball so far. Obviously, because the Yankees put up like 100 runs against them, and through the NL West is the again like a really good division. San
Dude, those
Francisco looks,
Giants, bro. Those Giants with Buster
yeah,
Posey as the GM creating that team together. Isn't that crazy?
dude, that is nuts. Buster Posey is one of my favorite catchers of my entire generation, my
Yeah.
life. Like he was so fucking good, bro. Buster Posey, key part of my, it's him and Joe Mauer, man. Key part of our baseball youth, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. And he won three World Series as a player. And now
Hmm.
what he could do here as a GM, it's fascinating. It's like what Chris Young has done for the Rangers. He's a former pitcher in the big leagues. Yeah, and this
Hmm.
might be the trend we should go, bro. Former players as GMs. Why not?
I like it. The only issue is you're playing in a division with San Diego and LA, which is like, yeah, you got to be
Yeah.
playing really good baseball for the entire season to even sniff that division. Not saying the Giants can't make the playoffs. They definitely can as a wild card, um, but then you got to compete with teams, the Mets, Atlanta, and really, I would say a big headline to start the year has been Atlanta and how shit they've been. The
2-8.
Braves,
I was just about to bring it up, bro. The shitty Chicago White Sox with the 53 win over under. They have the same record
hmm
as them right now, bro. What the fuck is going on in Atlanta?
it's crazy, man. I don't know what's going on with the Braves to start the season. Their lineup just really hasn't really been like it should be. They're still missing Ronald. I think he'll be back in about a month or so, and they're really going to need him. But yeah, there's no reason to start the year. I know they had to play San Diego. They've had to play the Phillies. I think the Dodgers. So they've had a tough schedule, but they should have more wins than that. They've struggled mightily. So I'm not counting them out by any means. I did hear a stat though that says nobody's ever made the playoffs starting a season 0-8
Ha!
and 7 or something. So they're gonna try
Man,
to break.
hey, imagine if they somehow do just get to the playoffs like that. But if that's a sign of what's to come,
They
ha
should, bro.
ha.
They
So
should, bro. They have enough people. They have enough star players on their team where they should make the playoffs. They got Chris Sale, Ronald Acuna. They've got Austin Riley, Matt Olson.
Olsen,
Dude, that team's loaded with power in their lineup, and they have pretty good pitching. So I'd be surprised if they weren't hanging around, chasing a playoff spot in September. So, um, but yeah, the AL is wide open, man. I think the AL it's harder to really talk about because I don't know what to think of the NL or the AL West. Division's fucking weird with Seattle, Houston, and Texas. I think Texas is probably the best team in that division, but I really have no fucking idea. They
and
they
then
can't hit for shit.
Angels are just a lost cause.
Yeah, same with the Athletics. They're pretty awful. So,
Ha ha.
um, the Central I think could be a good race between Detroit and Cleveland, and then obviously the AL East will be us, the Red Sox and the Rays, or excuse me, the Blue Jays would be my prediction, but. Or the Orioles they're gonna be good as well. I don't see them really going anywhere, but um, yeah, the American League's a lot more wide open.
That's what I, that's what we like to see. That's where we like to go. And now as the Yankees are about to and the most important team in the AL, I should say, are the Yankees. And as they wrap up a series with the Tigers and head back to the stadium this weekend to play the Giants, I think we're going to be okay as we are very early in this season. And we'll see how the rest of
Mhm.
the teams all unfold, and we're going to enjoy it.
Hey man, yeah, it's a long season, man. You got to string together wins when you can, but team this season, I'm liking what I see so far from our Yankees, man.
Yes, I do too. Yes, I do too. So, Alec, I just wanted to ask you really quick, just switching gears. The NBA playoffs are going to start at the end of next weekend. We're going to have the play-in tournament, the little short play-in tournament
Wow.
coming up next week already.
hmm
And the Denver Nuggets, who just won the championship 2 years ago, who are tied for the fourth seed in the West right now. They fired their head coach Michael Malone, and they also fired their GM. Bro, what do you think about that? Right, for a team that is, they have a good shot, and the team is healthy. You got probably, arguably the best player in the entire NBA overall in Jokic there, and you tell your coach and then you told your coach to fuck off with your GM as well. Interesting choice, don't you think?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I really have no idea what Denver's doing. by firing their head coach who just won a chip for them 2 years ago. They're playing bad. They're playing fine. They're a good team. Jokic, like you said, best or at least top three. So what the
Mhm.
hell is going on? We have no idea. The story that I'm hearing about because it doesn't really make any sense to fire a coach who's actually a great coach right before the playoffs. So
Right. I guess unless there was
sum it
beef
up.
between certain players and stuff. I did read about him and the GM would beef, the GM Clay. Maybe it got to a point, and it's not my theory, somebody else's. Chris Carino, the Brooklyn Nets, said that maybe it got
Mhm.
to a point where they had to make a decision to ownership, and then ownership said, you know what, fuck the both of you. You're both fired. And now, very confusingly, they're about to go into the playoffs. And who knows? The West is honestly wide open. It's anyone's to grabs. Probably give a edge to OKC, but they can be beaten. So interesting way to go about that. Am I right? Alec. All right. Just 1 second. We're just pause. We're gonna fix our technical difficulties. Oh, you there?
Yeah, dude, you were free. You just froze for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, you froze too. Well, we're back
I'm
yet
here,
again.
but you keep freezing, man.
All right, you still see me now?
Hey, can you
What's
see
up?
me?
Yeah, yeah, I see you, brother.
Dude, yeah, the connection's not good, man. It keeps like freezing when you're talking.
I know this Walmart Wi-Fi, as they say, but
Yeah,
um
we're good, bro.
we're
So
good now.
yeah, talk
But
about the Nuggets though.
yeah, I'm just saying, for a team that has a shot in this West, you probably will lean towards OKC. It's still anybody's game, and they can be
Yeah.
beaten. They haven't been as hot as a whole as a team, OKC. So I feel this would be a good time to take advantage for a core that is still there with Porter Jr., with Jokic, with Aaron Gordon, with a revitalized and motivated Westbrook. It's just very, very weird. And I guess in the coming weeks, or I should say not coming weeks, the coming days, we'll find out more from people like Shams and stuff like that.
Dude, yeah, it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to fire their coach. It really makes zero sense. Um, Jokic, anytime you got Jokic on your team, I think you got a good chance of beating anybody, bro. The guy put up 60 points the other night,
Yeah.
and he's just a freak. Like he does it in his sleep.
It's not
He's
even
so
his favorite
good.
thing in the world. He'd rather go horse racing or hang out
Yeah,
with his horses.
he'd rather be back in Serbia, dude, taking care of his horses. The guy, he really is a piece of work. He's unique. He's such a fun guy to watch play basketball. And you got to wonder what the hell's going on with the firing. It really doesn't make sense. So I'm hoping that we'll hear some more details in the coming days about this as to maybe there's something going on that we don't know about. But really a head scratching move, man, and one that you would hope if you're a Nuggets fan, it will just fire up the team to and kind of unite. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let this distract you. And I know it's easier said than done, but try to use this kind of as motivation for the team to play for that coach
Right.
that's
Very
no
interesting
longer
to
with
see
them.
where it goes. And they're going to have their interim. We'll see where Michael Malone ends up. I think he'd be a very hot candidate for anybody who wants him, or if he wants to be an assistant briefly and work his way into a role that way, like maybe
Mm.
join the Spurs staff. And when Pop is ready to go, maybe he can step in there. Mike Malone's a very good coach, and very surprising to see this move made. But this whole NBA season was surprising with the Luka trade, with the Grizzlies firing their coach in the middle of the season. Um, NBA
Hmm.
just stay in a hot mess as they always are, but we'll see
John
now.
Moran with the finger guns.
Yeah, is doing that shit just last week. But now that the playoffs are about to start in a couple weeks, more of the players and teams are actually going to start trying, and this is when the NBA is actually interesting. It's only 2 months
I
of the year
agree.
when they try. So
I
step
agree.
up.
I love the playoffs.
Exactly. So gonna have some fun content making with the playoffs there. So we'll rock and roll with that. And just the last thing, Alec, I don't know if we talked about, I don't think we've ever talked about this, but it is worth mentioning because it's what I think one of the great weekends in sports. Masters are this weekend. How are you with
Hmm.
golf? You like golf? Are you more of a player? Are you interested? You like to follow it? I love golf personally. I
Yeah.
like to. I don't play as much as I'd like to, but I definitely like following it. I just think it's a nice, leisurely, relaxing sport, and one of the four
Yeah.
tournaments a year where Live and the PGA actually come together for these majors, and then we had the very best one in Augusta, Georgia, with Scotty Scheffler coming back, defending his title, the number one golfer in the world. We got Tiger coming back, bro. Tiger is back for his 26th Master appearance.
Oh.
We'll see if he can. Hopefully, the goal is he makes the cut, bro. We hope he makes the cut. And
Hmm.
people like live players like John Rahm making some noise, and see Bryson DeChambeau come back, and Brooks Koepka. It's pretty cool. And then there's this that who became a rising star in golf, Aberg from Sweden, the 24-year-old. Ludwig
Hmm.
Aberg, who made some noise and beginning a lot of top 10 finishes last year. This will be his first Masters. So maybe if you want to make a big favorite for our gamblers out there in golf with what seems to be impossible odds, but if you hit, you hit. That might be a sneaky one to watch. I don't know. Those are just some early thoughts I have with the Masters. I hope it's good as time, and we'll see what happens. Just any thoughts with the Masters, brother? Or I should say in
No,
golf in
man.
general.
I mean, I love golf, bro. I love watching the Masters every year. It's a historic tournament.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah, I played golf in high school, man. I mean, I played a lot of golf my whole life. So,
Oh man, I'm
um,
learning about this about you. Let's go,
yeah,
bro.
so I love golf. I worked at a golf course for a few years. I was on the golf team for 2 years. So, yeah, I know all about golf, and it's a great sport, man. And, it's nice to see the Masters back on. It kind of signals the beginning of spring
Yes, it
or
does.
the middle of spring and Easter time and baseball season. So it's a fun time of year, man. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited. Like you said, did you say Tiger Woods was going to actually be playing?
So that's what I have here in my note sheet. Let me
Okay.
confirm that. But yeah, they expect him to be in his 26 Masters.
They expect him to play?
Tiger Woods playing in the Masters. Um,
That would be beautiful, dude.
da da da
Wait a
da.
minute.
Okay, I apologize here. Then no, he's still recovering. I forgot he tore his Achilles back in March. So I take that back. We do not have Tiger Woods returning to Augusta this year. And we could see ChatGPT mess that up for me. It literally says it right here. I was like, I thought I definitely would have heard that, but this must have
Yeah,
not have been
no, it's all
updated
good,
since
bro.
last year, so my B on that. But everything else I said is true.
Ricky Fowler, VJ Singh, those guys aren't playing either. Matt Kuchar. So there's a lot of big names that aren't playing in this, but big names like is Scotty Scheffler, right? He's the favorite.
Hell yeah, best golfer in the world right now, and
He's
reigning
he's so
champ,
good. And Rory McIlroy is still balling, dude.
bro. Finally, he needs all he just did just win one more major, my dude. But yeah, maybe this is the one, bro. Maybe this is the one.
Yeah, it's
So,
gonna be a great tournament, dude. I cannot wait for Masters Sunday. It's an epic day in sports,
oh
and
yes.
just seeing that them walk down that 18th green or 18th
Mm-hmm.
fairway, it's goosebumps, bro. I don't care if you hate golf, you think it's boring. It's a beautiful sport, man. And this tournament, it really means a lot. And that green jacket, bro, it's prestigious.
Yep.
And your name will be remembered forever with the greats like Jack Nicholson and all these great golfs, bro. All these great all these great golfers that have won the Masters over the years, and it's always played at Augusta. My dad actually went a few years ago and brought home some swag from it. So I have a
Really?
Masters. Yeah, dude, I have a Masters pullover actually with a Masters logo on it, and it's pretty cool.
Oh man, I would totally be showing that off if I could. Great work, bro. So why don't you just make your pick for me? Tell me who's gonna win the Masters this year, Alec? Who is winning the tournament? Who's taking home that green jacket?
Um, if I had to pick, I'd say probably Scheffler, but just for the sake of not picking him, I'm gonna go with uh John Ram.
John Ram. All right. He won in 23. He's a live guy. So right now we have him at plus 1400 on FanDuel to win the whole tournament. So
Let's go.
I'm going to uh I'm going to
Yeah, he
say you
won
have
it
a
two
great
years
pick.
ago.
Yes. So the Spaniard. You know what? So I'm going to impress you there. And if we don't want to do this Scheffler pick either, I'm gonna go with Ludwig Aberg, bro. This young stud, the Swedish star who's growing here. I think if he wins a green jacket and he could get those putts in and just keep hitting the green and stay focused and continue this big streak of ending all these tournaments in the top 10, people will be very impressed to see what could be another rising star in golf right now.
Who'd you pick?
I pick Aberg.
Oh, Aberg. Okay.
Yeah,
Ludwig Aberg.
that's right. The Swedish star, only 24 years old, bro, and
Man, let's have a
playing with the
freaking good
greats.
Masters, brother. Let's do it.
A fucking man, bro. So I think
Let's do it.
that'll wrap up our talk for today. Got some college basketball, got Masters, baseball, all that good stuff. And April's one of the best. And what was the last one? Baseball, college basketball, NBA, and Masters. So we'll take that. So we got a good month ahead, bro. April, one of the best sports months of the year. Just finished the Final Four. We're heading into the Masters. The NBA and NHL playoffs will be starting in a couple of weeks. We got baseball unfolding and the NFL draft at the end of the month, bro. I definitely want to hear your thoughts going into that in a couple of weeks. It is the
Yes, sir.
22nd, the first round. So good stuff, bro. Glad you're part of the team, as I say, Alec, and I'll be seeing you very
Good
soon.
stuff, Matt. Amen, brother. Looking forward to a great month of sports ahead. We got UFC, we got
Yes.
MLB, we got NBA, we got all sorts of fun stuff coming up, man. The Masters, NBA playoffs. So
Couldn't
looking
say it
forward to
any
covering it
better.
with you.
Amen, bro.
Yes,
Looking
sir. It's the
forward to
best
it
time
as
of the
well.
year, man. We got three sport crossover going on right now. Four crossover, including, if you want to include yeah, UFC, but I don't. I mean, baseball, hockey, and basketball.
I'll take those. I'll take those. Hey, the more the merrier at the UFC. UFC has a special place. And also, WrestleMania, even though
Yeah.
wrestling is a sport, that's also going to be in Vegas in a couple weeks too. So just for those who just love competition, I'll tell you that.
Amen.
Amen. All right, you're the man, Alec. I'll see you very soon.
All
And
right. Thanks, Matt.
keep killing it out there.